I jumped. I wasn't pushed. Did you know that?
It's actually happened. I'm talking to an imaginary person. What I'm about to tell you is top secret.
Hello, Evil Corp. We are F Society. We are malicious and hostile. We do not compromise. We are relentless.
Sometimes I dream of saving the world, saving everyone from the invisible hand.
Why did you do it?
The one that controls us every day without us knowing it.
I wanted to save the world.
You did it.
What if we were
Just
wrong?
like that, Elliot. You're gonna change the world.
We did this. It's one thing to question your mind. It's another to question your eyes and ears. That what we perceive isn't the real world at all, but just our mind's best guess.
You're not gonna do it, are you? Change the world.
There's a part of you and me.
What's a monster? You're afraid. Afraid of your monster.
It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening.
I can't live with what I did anymore. You're wrong. They won't win. Because one good thing came out of all of this. They showed themselves. The top 1% of the 1%. The ones in control. The ones who play God without permission.
This is not a warning. This is the beginning of the end. We are F Society.
And now I'm gonna take them down.
No more top 1% of the top 1%. It actually happened. No more controlling every piece of our lives. No more playing God without permission. We took them down. All of them.
Is any of it real?
He tried to tell you. You're not Elliot. You're the mastermind.
This is a big moment in our history because we're opening up our country again. People are coming out, they're starting to go around and see what's happening. They've been sort of shut down, as the expression goes, but we're opening up our country. People want our country to open up. Now, we want to do it in a safe way. We want to make sure safety, you know all about social distancing and washing your hands and all of the things that we're supposed to do. And something I think that's important to say, because I've been okay at this kind of thing, our economy. It's going to come back very, very strong. You know, we built the greatest economy anywhere in the world, nobody even close. Greater than China by far, greater than anybody. Nobody was even close. I did it once, we're gonna do it again. And it's going to be just as strong by the time we have it done. And it's going to be a lot sooner than anybody would understand. We're going to have an incredible next year, and I look forward to it. Well, thank you very much. It's great to be with the governor of Colorado and the governor of North Dakota, two governors that are working very hard, harder than they thought they'd have to work. We also have two very distinguished senators that you know very much, Senator Gardner, who you know, and John, say hello. Say hello to the fake news.
Thank you, Mr. President. We appreciate the invitation, and of course, appreciate all the support you're giving us and the leadership of our governors.
Thank you. It's been, and that's what we're doing. That's what we're here for, to do that and to talk about. We just came out with a new listing on testing. We just cracked 10 million tests, which is here. I think you'd like to show that to everybody. 10 million. We set an all-time record by far. If you look down here, these are other countries that have not done anywhere near what we're doing. We're double. If you add them up and double them, we've done more tests, but I can't get the press to print that, unfortunately. They just don't want to print it.
Do you support that bill?
Well, I respect Lindsey Graham, and I'll certainly look at it. The bill to sanction China, so I'll certainly take a look at it. I have not seen it yet.
Do you want to comment on the release of those names related to
Well, the unmasking is a massive, it's a massive thing. It's, I just got a list. It's, who can believe a thing like this? And I watched Biden yesterday on Good Morning America being interviewed by one of your colleagues, George Stephanopoulos, and he said he knew nothing about anything. He has no idea, he knows nothing about anything. Nothing at all. And then it gets released today that he was a big unmasker. So how do you know nothing if you're one of the unmaskers? It's one of the very big stories, and I suspect you'll have, if it's possible, even bigger stories coming out.
And could I follow up on a separate subject, sir? We've had a number of explosions in Afghanistan. Are you concerned that that peace deal may be falling apart?
Look, Afghanistan, we've been there for many years. We're like a police force. We're not fighting in Afghanistan. We're a police force in Afghanistan. And at some point, they're going to have to be able to take care of their country. They're going to have to be able to police their country. But we're not meant to be a police force. We're meant to be fighters. And we've been there for a long time. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I have not heard that.
Describe a situation when you think it's appropriate to lie to the American people.
I don't think it's appropriate to lie to the American people. I mean, you can put together a hypothetical where there is a national security emergency that is imminent and you don't want to provide, for example, the location of our troops. You don't have to lie in those situations. You simply say, we're not answering questions. I don't think it's appropriate to lie. And I think that one of the things I want to change about the culture in Washington is not just the big lie, but also the soft lie, the fudging, the manipulation, the spin. If we can restore a sense of trust between the American people and their government, we're going to go a long way to changing the country for the better.
There is circumstantial evidence of collusion.
There is more than circumstantial evidence.
I think there is direct evidence.
There is evidence that is not circumstantial.
There's abundant evidence of collusion. Yes, there's ample evidence of collusion in plain sight.
According to these transcripts he's been hiding all this time, Schiff was hearing the exact opposite.
Just released interview transcripts embarrassing to Schiff because look at this. The former DNI under President Obama, James Clapper, quote, "I never saw any direct empirical evidence that the Trump campaign or someone in it was plotting, conspiring with the Russians."
2017, Samantha Power testified she was not in possession of any of the evidence. Susan Rice said there was no smoking evidence. Yates herself concluded no collusion at all.
They would leave the closed-door session, go on TV, and say something completely different.
The whole thing was orchestrated and set up within the FBI, Clapper, Brennan, and in the Oval Office meeting that day with President Obama.
This is a massive cover-up of the greatest scandal in American history.
In prison, you are somebody's bitch. Oh, and you, my friend, would be the belle of the ball. Don't drop the soap. Don't drop the soap.
Soon, and I believe very soon, Barry Obama will pay the price for the crimes he's committed against the United States of America. As that time approaches, many will be faced with the burden of not knowing who they can trust, as lies and corruption from the Obama administration have infiltrated the FBI, the CIA, Hollywood, and the mainstream media. What did Obama actually do? How does Michael Flynn tie into all of this? How did Barack Obama know what was said between Flynn and Russia's ambassador? Even though the truth has been known for some time, due to Flynn's exoneration, it's now all quite clear. Barack Obama requested that the British spy agency GCHQ spy on Flynn and Trump using NSA tools since August 2016. The GHCQ spy operation is much more powerful than FISA, hundreds of times more powerful. Do you remember this Trump tweet? Robert Hannigan, the director of the British spy agency, resigned on January 23, 2017. 3 days after Trump's inauguration. Coincidence? Let's see what Judge Napolitano said. in March 2017.
Transcribe the digital version into a transcript and give it to him. But if he does that, there's a record of the order.
Right.
So 3 intelligence sources have informed Fox News that President Obama went outside the chain of command. He didn't use the NSA, he didn't use the CIA, he didn't use the FBI, and he didn't use the Department of Justice. He used GCHQ. What the heck is GCHQ? That's the initials for the British spying agency. They have 24/7 access to the NSA database. So by simply having 2 people go to them saying, President Obama needs transcripts of conversations involving candidate Trump, conversations involving President-elect Trump, he's able to get it. And there's no American fingerprints on this.
So you're saying that the British used their version of the CIA to wiretap Donald Trump's phone or
well,
ours?
it's not a wiretap. The concept of the NSA has 24/7, 365 access to every mainframe computer of every telecom and every computer service provider that does business in the United States. And they share that with various intelligence agencies, including the Brits. So the British intelligence agency had this. What happened to the guy who ordered this? Resigned. And 3 days after Donald Trump was inaugurated.
So Trump might be right, except for the fact who did it. Unbelievable.
After that GCHQ bombshell revelation, Judge was fired by Fox News. Coincidence? No. The British were not happy, so they threatened the CIA, and the CIA told Fox to fire Napolitano. Who was the CIA director in March 2017?
I encountered and am aware of information and intelligence that revealed contacts and interactions between Russian officials and U.S. persons involved in the Trump campaign that I was concerned about because of known Russian efforts to suborn such individuals. And it raised questions in my mind, again, whether or not the Russians were able to gain the cooperation of those individuals. I don't know whether or not such collusion, that's your term, such collusion existed. I don't know. But I know that there was a sufficient basis of information and intelligence that required further investigation by the Bureau.
No, it wasn't the Russians who interfered in the 2016 election. It was the British, and a foreigner usurper put in the Oval Office by a foreign power. With the funding of George Soros, Hillary Clinton, Obama, the press, and Hollywood elites pushed a false narrative of Russian collusion and advocated for globalism and a soft form of socialism. Antifa was activated to silence pro-Trump voices. America's division had grew stronger. The intense focus on Russia kept many eyes away from the numerous attempts that the FBI tried in taking down Trump by targeting his sphere of influence. Shadow presidency. Why did Obama travel to the same places both before and after Trump's official visits? Anons created a graphic showing the correlation between Obama and Trump's trips abroad during 2017. In a January 5th, 2017 meeting, the Obama team outlined for Sally Yates and Jim Comey how they were to keep information from the incoming Trump administration, given that they would be the only ones remaining in government positions. As the incoming National Security Advisor, General Flynn would be privy to the details of how the Obama administration spied on the Trump campaign. Removing Flynn was their top priority. The FBI kept their investigation of Flynn open despite having no reason to do so. Per Bill Priestep, their goal was to either set up a trap to get Flynn to lie or to get him fired.
Did then candidate Trump, now President Trump, become what intelligence officials call an unwitting agent? I don't blame you for not answering that question.
information and disinformation was illegally leaked to the press to make Flynn think he was not under investigation, when in fact he was. A second illegal leak of information was needed before Flynn would be removed from his position as National Security Advisor. With Flynn out of the way, the Obamagate plotters went to work on neutralizing Jeff Sessions. Jim Comey kept information about the Russia investigation from Sessions. He and others leaked information to smear Sessions as a Russian sympathizer, and he quickly recused himself. With Sessions out of the way, Rod Rosenstein appointed Robert Mueller as special counsel. Mueller would keep Trump under continual public suspicion of a crime and give legitimacy to media's false narrative of Russian collusion. John Kerry and Obama traveled the world assuring foreign leaders Trump would soon be out of office. Although he was no longer president, Obama's people managed to paralyze President Trump and retain a degree of control over governmental functions. Obama has been running a shadow presidency, supported by the deep state.
This has been a secret project we've been working on for a long time.
What are you doing back there? They got caught spying. Let's say it like it is, right? They got caught spying on our election.
What has almost happened here is unprecedented. Elites plotted to overturn an election because the wrong person won. These crimes struck right at the very heart of our society. We are governed by laws, not men. These coup plotters tried to change that. They corrupted institutions to the point innocent people were targeted and persecuted for false political reasons. Obama tried to take our country away from us. For the first time in American history, we will see a former president and his former vice president charged with conspiracy. 18 U.S. Code 371, conspiracy to commit offense or to defraud United States. If two or more persons conspire either to commit any offense against the United States or to defraud the United States or any agency thereof in any manner or for any purpose, and one or more of such persons do any act to effect the object of the conspiracy, each shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 5 years or both. They first told you he wouldn't be elected. Then they told you he was a Russian spy. Then they told you he was plotting against Biden by investigating Ukraine. How many times do they have to be wrong for you to see what's right? Obamagate, Spygate, sedition, an attempt to overthrow a duly elected president. That will be Obama's legacy. They never thought they would lose. Now that we know what Obamagate is, stay tuned for next week's episode as we discover why Obamagate happened.
What crime exactly are you accusing President Obama of committing, and do you believe the Justice Department should prosecute him?
Obamagate. It's been going on for a long time. It's been going on from before I even got elected, and it's a disgrace that it happened. And if you look at what's gone on, and if you look at now all of this information that's being released, and from what I understand, that's only the beginning. Some terrible things happened, and it should never be allowed to happen in our country again. And you'll be seeing what's going on over the coming weeks. And I wish you'd write honestly about it, but unfortunately, you choose not to do so. Yeah, John.